So welcome to another episode of the Mind Takeaway podcast. We are in a Roman amphitheatre in Sant. I know we made a previous episode here, but it was just so great sitting in this amphitheatre.
And inspiring.
Yeah, and very inspiring. I'm not sure how it would be back in the day. It must have been scary to see people smashing each other and killing each other with spears and swords and whatever else, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we wanted to talk to you about copying versus creativity, because we've noticed since the age of AI, and just to be clear, we're not anti-AI, we're not pro-AI, we sit somewhere in between where, especially me, I'm really into technology, but I'm trying to be as eyes wide open as I can. And, I'm not an expert in AI, I'm trying to learn, and we have wonderful friends and colleagues who are into that and who are real experts. But what we've noticed since digitization and the age of AI is that there's definitely been a lack of innovation and creativity in humanity, or at least that's what I can see. And for example, one medium such as LinkedIn, we really love this platform, although it can be love-hate sometimes with the way social media is. But we noticed that there's quite a lot of copying going on. And again, you could argue that in creativity, I don't know if you've heard the term, everything is a remix. There's lots of rationale behind there and, information around, everything's been done before, so it's okay to copy. And actually, I love copying. There's nothing wrong with that. But I see copying as it's a new iteration of what came before. For example, as me as a musician in the past, if I copied someone I look up to, another musician, then, to be fair, because they were so good and I wasn't really at that level, to be honest, I would try and copy what they did to learn, but then it would always come out uniquely in my way, and probably not as good, but it was different, if that makes sense. But in the world of professional coaching, leadership development and business, I see, let's be honest, and again, I'm not getting into judgmental mode here, but there's a lot of laziness. People think that they can follow the least path of resistance. And when you take a shortcut, what you've got to remember is shortcuts are good. If your eyes wide open professionally, a shortcut can be good, but quite often a shortcut, you do have to pay the price. And if you think taking a shortcut is to copy someone else's leadership program or just copy their post, and for example, when you copy someone else's work and you don't give them a shout out, I think that's a little bit naughty, no? It's not really a cool thing to do. I know that we would never do that. And where we have seen something that's gave me inspiration or give me a call to action, or it's got me excited, then I would always cite the original work. So I'd strongly suggest you do that. But in the world of creativity, if you just copy, then you're not bringing your unique self into the work that you're doing. How just copying others' ideas, it's not really sustainable for you if you're growing a business, if you're coming up with something innovative and new. You can always leapfrog, for example, a competitor by, let's be honest, if you're first to market, you are exposed and someone will definitely come up with a better iteration or a new product, but that's okay. They're not blatantly just copying. But again, if you're willing to look at what came before you, have the respect to give people a shout out and cite those ideas as something that inspired you to maybe come up with a different inspiration or do better, that's fine. But what we're talking about is when people just get into this laziness, or that's why, Chat GPT, as much as I'm not saying it's good or bad, it can be used as a really good jumping off point, a really positive. But if you were to just use that to post 24/7 and share content, then I'd hazard a guess that it will definitely water down your impact. You won't have that respect and trust from your peers, from your respective clients or people that you're trying to inspire. And if you want a call to action, for example, on any social platform, then it's better to use a combination of really good, deep human creativity and innovation and a bit of AI and automation and use digitization. And that's the sweet spot, or at least that's been for me, right?
Yeah, it looks to me, now as I'm listening to you talking, it looks like to me that when something doesn't come from you, it's not connected to you, you might start using the idea but then develop it or do something else. But if there is no connection to you, if it's just copying and just doing the steps, it's not connected to you, it doesn't have the energy. And because it doesn't have the energy behind it, it's really hard, it will be really hard for you to do anything with it.
Yeah, and what we've noticed is, I'm laughing now, but over the years, maybe this inspired us to do the episode because I'm not really one for ranting on social media. I don't want to get into public back and forths and into arguments. It's not our way. I don't feel that's very professional and I don't want to come across that way. And, you know, we're lucky to have this medium and that visibility of having a podcast. So I'll be honest, I'll put it out there. Mira and I have had lots of people copy our work. And yeah, quite often if I'm not feeling so vulnerable and safe, I'll just be like, wow, we must be doing something right. Maybe it's a sign of respect. People are really, maybe they're inspired to do something similar. But I noticed that some people will blatantly copy and they'll try and claim that they did it first, and that can be quite toxic. But it's interesting that although we've been mildly annoyed, but when I say mild, we're not even interested in giving that third-party feedback good luck to them, because as Mira said, if you're not being authentic, if you're being inauthentic when you build something and then claim that it's yours and you don't have the right skill set, the right experience, you just won't have the impact because they're not comfortable in their own skin. They don't have enough clarity to know that they need to do their own research and build something up from zero themselves. And again, you don't have to start from zero. Like I said, you can look at, for example, we've read books and been inspired by other leaders and experts that came before us. I can cite Jamie Smart, one of our wonderful coaches and mentors back in the day. There's a hell of a lot of stuff that's inspired us to build our programs and to coach other coaches and work with other leaders, right? But again, when we work with other people and we've been inspired by, for example, Jamie's work, we would always cite his work in all of our products if we were to use something, for example, one of his clarity models that we were trained in back in the day. And that's the thing, it's as simple as that. You can build a unique and authentic and really impactful product to help other people. You really don't need to copy people because you feel uncomfortable. And quite often it comes from envy, fear, being uncomfortable, jealousy, I'm not good enough. And sadly, social media really amplifies that. So again, I don't want to get into, this is an episode about telling people off, far from it. We just want you to get curious about, if you want to have impact, if you want to build something innovative, novel, and really change the world, then just have a think about these things, because when you build it from that solid foundation, you're more likely to get what you want. And it'll actually inspire and have much more impact in the world. So yeah, hope this has been useful. As always, let us know what you think, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, let us know if you have any further questions. Bye.
Bye.